All right, what's up, guys? Happy Wednesday. It's the 12th of March. Trade recap. I lost way more than I should have today trading the Nasdaq and the S&P. Let's show these. Okay, cool. So, first off, I want to go into the start of the day. So at 8:30, we had CPI, triple red folder news, some really good stuff. So that created this data high at, where was it? Here. So we have a data high and a data low. Usually when price sweeps one side, we want to go to the other side. Just a common occurrence. Traded the same exact setup on Friday. I forgot what that was. I think that was NFP. So yeah, usually when we sweep one side, the other side, we immediately target the other side. It's probably one of the highest win rates I have, as far as like setups or models or what have you. So that's what I was honed in on. ES swept it really quickly once the market opened. I think you get the point. Once the market opened, ES swept it really quickly. Just didn't really provide an entry until we hit this right here. Once this hit, I was looking for longs, and it was kind of peculiar because of how far NQ was from the data low. So if we check this here, MES. Okay, so the first trade, I think it was a 30-second. I forgot what it was. I think I combined these. Yeah, so it was this right here. I combined these two. I went in for, I saw NQ taking off, so I did a starter position for just half size. Then once we closed over, I added another 3. Excuse me. And I was up about $200, I think, at its peak. And then maybe a little bit more. I was targeting right here. I think it was like a 3R or 2R maybe. I know yesterday I said I was targeting a fixed 2R, but for data candles, there's such high probability that I do want to target the ends of the data wick, or at least more than 2R. Maybe that was the mistake on my end, but whatever. I went to break even as soon as we hit this right here. I'm sorry, as soon as we actually hit this right here. So we came all the way up. We made an internal high. Once we swept that and I saw the reaction, I was like, all right, let me go break even, because if this thing slams down, then, I don't, there's no reason to lose on this, because it should just go up. So yeah, and that's exactly what happened. We slammed down. I got hit break even. Right here. And then I feel like right then and there, I had a gut feeling where I was like, hey, listen, maybe price is not going to go for the data high this time, even though I would say like 80% of the time, 85% of the time it does. My overall bias was bearish because we were tapping into this 4-hour fair value gap. You know, CPI shot us into this 4-hour fair value gap. We're tapping into another 4-hour fair value gap right here. So realistically, overall I was bearish. I was definitely very bearish at the start of the session. So I would have liked it if we would have swept the data high, but we didn't. So once this failed on ES, I was like, all right. My gut was like, okay, maybe this is wrong. Maybe I'm just wrong here, and maybe like the data high is not going to get hit. Maybe I shouldn't be so fixated on a target, right? And I ignored that. I ignored that gut feeling, and I ignored what price was telling me, right? Because we were coming out of fair value gaps, right? So we came here, we couldn't push up when we were supposed to. We had a nice sweep, nice drive up, but we didn't really displace here. There's no real gaps here. And then once we hit break even, we formed a fair value gap, tapped into it, created more fair value gaps going up. Well, we did invert them, right? We inverted this one right here, so it closed this gap completely. So I'm even okay with this one, right? I think where I messed up on this one specifically was I lowered my stop loss. My model tells me that once this inverted fair value gap fails, I have to get out. Um, I'm sorry, this one right here. Once this fails, I have to get out. And on the 32nd, I think this was actually, we can actually go right here and look at this. Cool. And this was this was 1 minute. All right, yeah. So I mean, I guess I really didn't have a chance to kind of get out. I just hit my stop loss, so maybe I'm beating myself a little bit too much. Beat myself up a little bit too much on this. But yeah, that pretty much just ripped through me. So that was the first loss. So this was break even. This was the first loss. Second loss. Okay, this is where I extended my stop loss. So I got out for 200 for negative 200 on this one. I was down $200. No big deal. And if you go over to MNQ, you can see this one right here. I was spamming longs. I was having a hard time just letting go of not doing longs. So if we check this one right here, NQ hit the 50%, came up. We inverted this. I did chase quite a bit. And honestly, the fill just kind of sucked. I really just got a shitty fill. So I got in here. And I was supposed to get out at this candle because we inverted this fair value gap, and this is where I extended my stop loss when I shouldn't have. So this was here. I knew that if I left my stop loss here, it'd be negative 300. I accepted the loss. And yeah, I could have saved myself an extra 10 points about. Actually, 10 points, it would have been only $200. Would have been only down 400. So now I was down like 518 after this one. And I was really just forcing longs when I really should have just taken a step back and said, hey, the first two longs that I tried really that were supposed to work didn't work. Usually that works. I think I have to be more aware of that next time and just be able to use my intuition and be like, hey, something's not right here. So yeah, ripped through my stop loss on that one. I think I was down like 518 or something like that. And then I honestly, this was an emotional trade. I got really frustrated. I was like damn, like I been wrong three times. I'm down $500. Like maybe we just want to dump today and we're never gonna go back up. And as soon as I did that, we went up. There's only one contract, so I lost like $50 there or something like that. And we can actually check it right here, I think. I go here. Yeah, so I was down 516, so it was like a $70 loss. Whatever, man. It is what it is. All in all, the trades I took were all right. I really don't think I probably should not have taken this one. If I'm not mistaken, I think we actually swept. I forgot where we were here. True Day Open. Where's True Day Open here? What time was this? This was at 10:30ish. 10:30ish. I'm not sure, but down more than I want to be. Um, Down $400 this week. So cutting into my profit from last week, and now getting the max trailing drawdown is kind of tough. Um, but yeah, it is what it is. I locked myself out after I hit those three losses. I really was having a hard time not being fixated on the data wick, which I think was the issue for today. I think the first loss was totally okay. I think the second and third loss was just there were no need for that. And I could have found better setups to take. But it is what it is. I'm done for the day. And yeah, if you made it this far, please like, subscribe, comment, let me know anything I could do better. And thank you for sticking around. See you tomorrow.